Good evening. This is Jackie, Dave, and Charlie Forsyth from Saint City Studios. We're inviting you to join us with a special story tonight called Charlie's Christmas Wish. Most of you, like Charlie, like to hear a story every night before bedtime. Charlie's Christmas Wish. Oh, do you want your Santa hat? Once upon a time, there was a young green Amazon parrot named Charlie, who was adopted by two musicians. They loved him very much, and he loved them as well. It was getting close to Christmas, and it was very cold outside, and the snow was blistering about. Charlie was hoping for a new hanging parrot toy. He had chewed all the wooden baubles off his last toy and really wanted a new one. He had seen a toy he really liked at Mika's birdhouse when he went there with his dad to get bird food, but his dad did not buy it for him. Although his parents worked hard, they didn't always make very much money with their music. Charlie was worried that there may not be a new parrot toy under the tree for him this year. Then one day, Charlie learned all about Santa Claus from the neighborhood kids who were talking about the presents that they were wishing for. Charlie really loves kids. They really are a lot like him. What if he could get Santa to give him a present as well? Santa Claus, Charlie thought to himself. They say he's a jolly old elf with a nose like a cherry. How interesting. And he brings toys and presents to all the good boys and girls. All I have to do is get on that nice list the kids were talking about. The thing is, Charlie knew he wasn't always a good boy. He liked to bite and chew things, and sometimes that meant people. Fingers and toys were his specialty. He didn't mean to be bad. He was just plain. He was an Amazon parrot after all. It's just what Amazon parrots like to do. Sometimes people would scream, "Ow!" and "That hurt!" It really was so much fun. The only problem is he was more likely to be put on Santa's naughty list than on his nice one, which would mean no new toys for Charlie. What a problem. Then Charlie remembered he was working on his words. He could speak quite a few of them already. All he had to do was tell Santa, "Charlie is a good boy." And all the time. For who wouldn't believe a cute little talking parrot? Often, he was too shy and afraid to actually speak to people other than his parents. It was very important that he used up all his courage this time and used his words to speak to Santa. Or maybe even talk to a Santa representative, like one of those little owls the neighborhood kids mentioned. The very next day, Charlie in his travel cage went to the optometrist, or the eye doctor, and the eyeglass place just beside it with his dad. Apparently, his dad needed his eyeglasses adjusted. The glasses didn't have anything to do with Charlie, since he only chewed them a very small bit before they were taken away. When going through the door, they met up with a little dark curly-haired girl who was crying. She was very loud and very unhappy because she didn't want to wear her new glasses and look different from the other kids. Charlie wanted to cheer her up, so he used his words and said, "Hello." The little girl was so surprised and so thrilled to have a parrot talk to her, she forgot to be upset about her glasses. Then she thought, if a parrot wants to talk to me, I must be pretty special, even with these glasses. She then started talking to Charlie and kept smiling for the rest of the day. 2 weeks later, Charlie still hadn't solved his problem. He found out that the neighborhood kids were writing to Santa to let him know what they wanted for Christmas. Charlie couldn't write. He could barely speak. How would Santa even know that he wanted something for Christmas, too? That afternoon, Charlie went with his dad to pick out a tree. Last year, they had a pretty funny-looking tree. The tree had to have holes drilled into it so that the extra branches could be put into the side that didn't have any. Oh dear! Charlie was afraid to imagine what this year's tree could look like. It could be worse. They went to a different tree lot this year. It took a lot longer time to get there and was attached to a great magnificent red barn. It was very cold outside and it started to snow. Charlie's dad asked the man at the lot if it was okay to put Charlie and his travel cage in the barn so he would be warmer. The nice man said it would be okay and that the reindeers that were already there were very friendly and wouldn't mind. Charlie was very excited, and the neighborhood kids did mention something about reindeers. Maybe Santa was close by. Charlie's cage got put on an old wooden table. He saw that the big funny-looking furry animals with horns were busily eating hay, and they took no notice of him. "Hello," said Charlie. "How are you?" The reindeers still did not seem to notice him. All of a sudden, a very small person with pointy ears and a funny hat appeared. This must be an elf, Charlie thought. Maybe Charlie could speak to him, and he would let Santa know he was a good boy. "Oh, how wonderful! A parrot," said the small elf, and he began to take Charlie out of the cage. "What's your name?" asked the elf. "Charlie," said Charlie. Charlie couldn't help but notice the elf's chubby little fingers. He hesitated for a moment, but they were so tempting. Charlie had to bite just one. "Oh!" shrieked the elf. "That hurt! One more name for Santa's naughty list." "Uh-oh," said Charlie. "This is terrible." Instead of telling the elf that he was a good boy, Charlie managed to get his name on Santa's naughty list instead. Now there will be no new parrot toys for Charlie under the tree. At that moment, somebody new entered the barn. The burly-looking older man with white hair and whiskers had a portly belly and went stamping out snow from his shiny black boots. Oh my! Could it be the big man himself? Could this be Santa? "Ho, ho, ho! What's going on here? Ho, ho, ho!" Charlie flew as fast as he could towards Santa and landed on his shoulder. Charlie tried to get his words out before the elf could speak. "Charlie's good," he managed to say. "Good at telling stories," protested the elf. "Now, now," said Santa, "we don't want to be too hasty. I know you, Charlie. You can be a very good boy.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Wow.
A very good boy indeed. You helped the little girl get over her fear of wearing glasses. She needed those glasses to see and to learn. She is going to grow up to be a very important doctor one day, and she can't do that without first wearing her glasses. Charlie was so excited. Santa knew him, and it still looked like he may get a new toy after all. He looked happily at Santa. Santa's nose really did look as red as a cherry. So what did Charlie do?
Oh,
He did what any other Amazon parrot would do. He bit Santa on the nose. Oh! Oh no! Everyone hushed. There was silence in the room. Even the reindeer looked up and stopped eating their hay. Surely, no one has ever bit Santa on the nose before. Ho, ho, ho! Didn't expect that. Okay, Charlie, you're on my good list. But don't go playing with Rudolph. We need his shiny red nose to be in good condition. Well, Charlie had never been so happy in his young life. Santa forgave his biting habit, and Charlie was going to have the best Christmas ever. That year, under the crooked, wobbly, sparkly Christmas tree, Charlie got 2 wooden hanging parrot toys and hard-shelled nuts filled his Christmas stocking. We hope you enjoyed our story, Charlie's Christmas Wish. This is Jackie and Dave and Charlie Forsyth wishing you pleasant dreams, a Merry Christmas, and safe and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Charlie!
Wow!